Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome into another Instant Snaps reaction. As we are here on the other side of the semifinal in Ohio State. There's about a minute and a half left in the game, but it looks like Ohio State is going to win this thing after an interception by Caleb Downs at 28-14, meaning you will have, for the second year in a row, a national championship without an SEC team, as it'll be the Buckeyes and the Irish. What year is it? I feel like Robin Williams and Jumanji, Notre Dame and Ohio State in the Natty. Let's freaking go, dude.
Great movie.
So much to talk about from today's game. It was very back and forth, had an excellent rhythm at times, sloppy at other. I mean, whatever. There's just a ton to get into. We'll get into it all here. Hit the like button, subscribe, share this channel with your friends, guys, if you want to help the show grow. Aaron, what's up, dude? How we feeling tonight?
Feeling good, man. Great football game. I thought this was an excellent played football game. I thought two elite defenses. I thought both quarterbacks played well. Definitely did not play perfect. That Will was kind of up and down. I thought Quinn played better than I thought he would play. Made some pretty big time throws at big time moments. I thought it was a great football game. These are, to me, we said during the week, these were the two most talented rosters in America. And this was the opportunity for them to square off on a neutral site. And to me, it did disappoint. I know it's a 14-point win, but I thought Texas was ultra competitive.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a really it wasn't like a 14-point. I mean, it was Texas was at the 1 yard line with less than 2 minutes to go, going to tie this game at 21 apiece. First and goal from the 1.
Yep.
And I'll be damned if Fowler and Herbie didn't nail it. Fowler continually harping on this idea that the Ohio State red zone defense, they're incredible, and then they make a series of plays.
God, that
is just fantastic. So yeah, on second and goal from the 1, and a call that that obviously is going to be much maligned, a call that's going to be picked apart. They tried to run. It's what's called a sweep, right? Like an outside toss. Caleb Downs immediately gets penetration, strings it out. It turns into third and goal from the 8. And then at that point, Jack Sawyer takes over.
Ooh.
He has a great pass rush, which deflects the pass on third and goal. And then on fourth and goal, Aaron, I've watched the play 5 or 6 times. He dominates the right tackle. A perfectly timed hand slap and rip that gets the tackle completely off balance. Tackle's lucky he didn't fall down. Then he has the strip, then the scoop, then the score. And for the guy who grew up loving Ohio State, congratulations, Jack Sawyer. You are now an owner of one of probably the top 5 plays in Ohio State Buckeye football history. That is a very rich history.
I think Shorty says it well in the chat. I thought Ohio State was going to blow them out. Good game. I completely agree. I thought it was going to be, maybe not as lopsided as the Tennessee game or as lopsided as the week before for Ohio State against Oregon. But I thought they would have won comfortably. This was not a comfortable win. Texas brought their A game. That Texas defense just dominated. The fact that you look down at Jeremiah Smith, who has been just Mr. All-American, Mr. Stud at the receiving position, had 1 catch for 3 yards. 1 for 3. That is it. You held Ohio State to 82 yards rushing, 3.6 yard average. They were excellent on that side of the football, and they made enough plays on offense. So very not I want to say shocked, because I think Texas is a great football team, but a little maybe disappointed.
I got to be honest. I wish I would have stuck with Ohio State. I ended up getting a little.
Why? Why did you change last minute? I don't get why. What made you think Texas was going to win?
I just got a feeling in my plums. Everything was to Ohio State. All the money, all the bets, even though I should have known it wasn't just the public money, it was also the sharp money. But it was like 80% of money, 80% of the bets on Ohio State. And I just started thinking, that's a $20 million roster as well, which is the fascinating part about this game. I mean, quite literally, you just saw the first 2 ever $20 million rosters going toe-to-toe with a trip to the national championship on the line. And you could tell, these are some big, strong, fast motherfuckers out there.
Yes.
But yeah, so, look, nothing. Well, I would say this. The fact that Jeremiah Smith got held to 3 yards, thank God, it means he's human. because Texas has the Thorpe Award winner in that defensive secondary. Like they've been maybe the best secondary in the entire country, top 5 all year long. And you knew that they were going to force somebody else to beat them. Like if Jeremiah Smith had come out and dominated them, then I don't know how you would have ever been able to stop him. So credit to Chip Kelly and Ohio State, though, on a night when they could not feed Smith for finding ways to do enough. But really, I mean, this game, Aaron, kind of indicative of the rest of the playoffs. It's all about defense and running the ball. I mean, it is. I would say,
but defense, running the football, but also a big theme of college football this season, not having elite quarterback play. And both these quarterbacks are good, and both these quarterbacks made some nice plays. Good. Quinn made some nice plays. Will made some nice plays. Will, I think, has had a tremendous postseason. I thought Will's had a really good season overall. But these are not elite quarterbacks. These are not top 10 NFL draft pick quarterbacks. These are two guys that, will be lucky to be picked in the top 2 rounds when it's all said and done. And maybe they will.
You think Howard? I was for part of this game. It wasn't for the pick. I felt like Howard looked pretty elite.
I wouldn't say elite though. Like there's nothing that is like, oh my God, about I love the accuracy. I mean, the dude was letting it rip. He was throwing it like that one dig route that he threw it in between 2 defenders in the first quarter was incredible. Like he's really good. Don't get me wrong. Like Will Howard maybe works his way into the first round, but I don't think any of these guys to me scream like all pro Heisman caliber quarterbacks, any of that right now, the way they just their talent level is. So I think that's the big theme too. It's elite defense, but also it's coupled with 2 good quarterbacks, not elite quarterbacks.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's all about the defense, right? For both teams. Texas holding this Ohio State offense that has been unstoppable to just 21 offensive points, only 3 of 10 on third down. Jeremiah Smith not being able to do anything. Only 370 total yards for Ohio State, only 341 total yards for Texas. 81 very hard-fought rush yards for Ohio State, only 58 for Texas. So once again, we see Texas, like we said, every time we talk about this game, the run-up to this game, if you stop Texas from running the ball, you stand a good chance of winning. Georgia did it twice. They won. Arizona State did it. They damn near won. Ohio State did it. They won. And Ohio State, it wasn't like they were great on the ground, but they did enough. In the red zone, they ran it effectively. The Will Howard 4th and 2 call was perfectly timed by Chip Kelly, busting out a little QB power on 4th and 2. Credit to Sark, the Arch Manning 4th down call, which got something going there. When they couldn't really.
There's very few teams that can line up against Ohio State with a light box and play 2 high safeties. And that's what you have to do. I always bring this example up. When Kansas City played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, this was Tom Brady's year when they won the Super Bowl. Tampa, all they ran was a 6-man box and cover 2. And Tyreek couldn't do shit. Travis Kelce couldn't do anything. Patrick Mahomes couldn't do anything. They just lined up and just said, hey, we're going to keep everything in front. We're going to play 2 high safeties and good luck. You run the football against us. Yeah. And Texas is good enough up front to be able to play those 2 high safeties, play
that's
more
a good
zone
point.
coverage, not have to play man-to-man coverage, and just sit back there and read the eyes of the quarterback and then be able to have support over the top. That way Jeremiah Smith can't go off. So
no, I mean, it's a great point made by you. It's a great, exactly. It's a great team made by you because that's one of those kind of, that's like you can feel talent if it's Jack Sawyer stripping a ball and running it back 85 yards for the win. But that's an effective talent that you don't even know that you're feeling because you're absolutely right. Like that's how Texas was able to limit this Buckeye offense, but that can only be done if you just have really good players. All right, we have a guy, David, in the chat. I think he's a Texas fan. He's melting down. Or excuse me, Drew. He keeps talking about how this game's all about bad officiating. Talk about when crucial PIs aren't called in crucial matters and moments. Texas got 2 PIs called, and he's complaining about the third and goal.
The only thing that I thought was terrible was the penalty on the tight end for the celebration after the big play. That was stupid. That was stupid.
I mean, technically in the rule book, like pointing literally is codified as you can't do. I know. I still don't want the ref to call it. I don't want the ref to call it. But I'm saying you can't really attack that call. A ref can just be like, here's paragraph B, blah, blah, whatever.
I
I
know.
think it's
I
like
know.
really only missed call to me because he keeps talking about the third and goal. The third and goal, the ball was
It was
tipped.
tipped. It
There's
was
no
tipped.
PI.
Yeah.
Early on a third down, there was that hold that Ohio State got away with, but that was in like the first quarter.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything. It did not decide this game. In fact, if anything, not that they were bad calls, but Ohio State did probably kill 3 drives with penalties early on in
Yeah.
that game, maybe
Mhm.
4. And when they were rolling, I mean, you look, only 5 penalties for 54 yards for Texas, 9 for 75 for that of Ohio State. And generally, when you get to like 100 yards of penalty, that almost equates to a turnover. So impressive that Ohio State was over to
How
overcome
about
that.
Texas being ultra aggressive before halftime with the blitz? I mean, what we've seen it now for 3 games. Georgia gets
Oof.
aggressive. They give up 7 points to Notre Dame. Last night's game, Penn State gets aggressive before the end of the game. They throw a pick, they end up losing it. Texas gets aggressive before halftime. They bring a blitz. You call it a perfectly timed screen into a blitz for unknown reason while you're blitzing in that situation,
I
and it turns
know,
into a
dude.
75-yard touchdown.
Well, and
Just
you gave Travion Henderson
God.
so much room, dude.
Oh.
So much room.
Um,
That
so
guy
like,
is
yeah,
too
the
fast to give that amount of space.
way too fast. But Ohio State had an opportunity to capitalize. Good for Texas to keep it close. But I think that was a major moment in the game for Texas to have the momentum. I
Well,
mean,
okay,
the
okay, okay.
momentum felt like it was moving towards Texas's side
Let's
until then.
sorry. I want to lean into this because something that I really wanted to highlight here is once again the middle 8.
Yep.
Because let's relive how insane the middle 8 of this game was. So, right when you get under 4 minutes, there's a third and goal. Texas is trying to drive the ball. Texas has had no rhythm whatsoever. They have not gotten a third down in forever. And Isaiah Bond is wide open. And Quinn hits him, and Isaiah Bond drops, which would have been a huge first down. Texas has to kick it. Now, credit to the Texas defense. They force Ohio State 3 and out with Will Howard's first sack of the entire playoffs. Then Texas gets the ball back. They're facing 4th and 1 minute left. Both teams have 3 timeouts. What do you do there? The ball's at midfield, right? So if you give Ohio State back the ball, you are setting up a very short field going in and them getting the ball once again. But then again, do you risk the 4th down? Because again, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. Well, they decide to risk it. They run arch. It works.
Yep.
Beautiful play design. Then you have the beautiful touch throw on the wheel route. All of a sudden, it's evened up. Okay, we're good. Good middle 8 management by Texas. And then, as you said, the disaster. Travion Henderson, 75 yards, 1 play touchdown. And then, of course, Ohio State's getting the ball back. So you're like, oh my God, maybe it stayed into here. But then Ohio State comes out first and second half. Awful pick by Will Howard. And immediately the momentum, the middle 8 momentum swings all the way back to Texas. But then Texas offense fails once again. And thus the middle 8 came to a close with Ohio State up 7. But like the amount of, this possession could end the game in that sequence was unreal and fantastic. And in all honesty, ended up being pretty even.
Yeah.
With all the different turnovers and whatnot.
It was a clean, even, good fought football game. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Like and I'll be honest too, the better team won. For how good Texas has been and for how good they've looked at points this season, and maybe at times they've looked like the best team in the country at points as well. Ohio State's still the more complete team. Ohio State's been more consistent through the playoffs, and that's why they were favored so much by majority of the people watching it is because of those reasons. So this was as clean and good of a football game as you're going to get, and the better team won.
Yeah, I think the better team won absolutely here. I mean, again, look at the superstars making the plays here. The quarterback that you brought in played very well to win this game, but I mean, it's Caleb Downs, it's Jack Sawyer, in a game where rush yards were, how do I want to say this? Hard to come by, but critical. Like every yard mattered more.
You had to commit. You had to stay committed to it.
Yes, Judkins' red zone running was huge. 2 touchdowns for Judkins. Yeah, it's Ohio State was better, like you said.
Yeah.
What a game, though. Another semifinal that absolutely delivered. All right, I get some comments
Well, I want to do
that
a quick. I think we should do just a quick look ahead too, just for fun. Just a quick thoughts for national championship.
yeah, look, I mean, I think in terms of styles and fights, it's a rough matchup for Notre Dame. Now you don't want to doubt Notre Dame because a lot of people have been down Notre Dame. They continue to show you, no, we're way better than you think we are. Maybe because we don't have the name recognition of like a Sawyer or Downs or somebody, or like a Jeremiah Smith. But
My biggest worry, and I brought it up earlier. Why did Texas have success tonight on defense? Because they could play a light box and they can stop the run. We saw
yeah, I
Penn
was going to say,
State. We saw Penn State run for over 200 yards against Notre Dame yesterday. Guess what? Ohio State can run it. Maybe not to the same extent that Penn State can, but they can run it. Two better running backs, maybe not as good of an offensive line, but they can run it and force Ohio State to have to put a guy in the box. And if you go single high coverage and you go man to man against,
yeah,
Smith and Ibuka and Tate, and the way Will Howard has played this postseason, they're going to torch you. So that's my
that's what I'm
biggest
saying.
worry.
So you don't think Notre Dame's good enough up front to be able to do it?
No,
Texas?
I mean, did you see Penn State move them the entire game yesterday? It's just Penn State doesn't have receivers. Not one receiver caught a pass. Like they did not have a worrying hell that a Penn State receiver was going to win one-on-one. It was, we have to commit to the run, which still didn't work. We have to commit to trying to slow down Warren and do enough to make it close.
It's hard to argue. I mean, yeah, it's hard to argue with that analysis, even though
Ohio State's defense is better than Penn State's defense.
Yeah, I mean, that's again, I don't know, Abdul Carter's incredible, but yeah, that's the other part about Notre Dame. They're just so injured. Will Nat be able to play? Will you have your starting left tackle, or is he going to be another one who's not going to be able to play in this game? How long do they have? How many days do they have to try to get healthy?
To the following Monday. So
at least Notre Dame gets an extra day in this case for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
It's okay. Here's what I'll say. Let's say the defenses of Notre Dame and Ohio State are a wash.
Yeah.
Let's say the running game is.
I would not say it's a wash. I think Ohio State's the better defense, not by much.
Well, I'm just proving that most everywhere it is close, and then you get to receiver, and that's the massive gap. Weapons for Ohio State versus Notre Dame, right? Like everywhere else, it's
I think
close.
The entire offense is a massive difference. I mean, quarterback, running backs. I mean, Love is banged up, so I mean, you have Henderson and Judkins against a banged up Love.
I don't know if you can say that. I think Love and Price are.
No,
they're obviously not, but I don't think it's like some sort of massive gap from the other two. And this Notre Dame offensive line, I can't hate on them. I mean,
they've been.
That's what I'm saying. They've been fantastic.
But, I mean, receivers on a different planet.
So exactly. So we're saying the same thing. That's my point. Is that everywhere else you could argue that it's pretty close. And maybe Ohio State's better, but it is pretty close. The difference is the weapons. That's what you're most concerned about. Yep. And it does just kind of feel like maybe a bit of overall speed.
Yeah.
Ohio State bro, how fast do you think Travion Henderson got up to on that 75-yard touchdown?
22.
His old boy was gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you neighbors with Sports Science Man?
Yeah. Ask him if he got the data.
He could probably eyeball it, dude.
It will show up somewhere. I mean, the thing that hopefully excites me that this is going to be a good matchup is the fact that Notre Dame continues to impress and continues to prove everyone wrong or most people wrong. That they have a chance to win it. Like they're just they're fighters. They know how to make games very tight, turn into a 4-quarter battle. When at that point it just turns into where's the ball kind of bounce in their direction.
Here's an easier way. I agree. So exactly right. So it's going to take some sort of like true football team, just like being greater than it looks on paper to win this game. Here's the easy analysis. I want you all to close your eyes and imagine when Ohio State has the ball on offense. You can see how they score. When Notre Dame has the ball on offense, it becomes much tougher to envision what that
Mhm.
looks like. It's going to take some dominant blocking.
Yep.
It's going to take Riley Leonard being all-time gamer,
Yep.
falling forward, making plays, making throws when he has to. I mean, it's like every challenge they faced up until this point, only more so.
Yeah.
Almost like a
It's the
combination of
best team
all
in
the
the
different
country. It's the
challenges.
best team in
Yeah.
the country. It's the best team in the country. There's not a glaring weakness for Ohio State right now. Even the offensive line's playing better. You know,
Yeah.
like if there was going to be a weakness in this football team this year, was it going to be the offensive line? They've had their moments, but through the playoffs, they've played
Well,
well.
they didn't even give up a sack until tonight. Last Jet
Wow.
at Chicago says the Ohio State's offensive line has to play better than they did tonight. I disagree. I think that's an elite Texas defense, man. They did
Yes.
very well.
Very well.
They did very well. Like if their offensive line, if Ohio State plays like they did tonight against Notre Dame, I think they win again.
I think the only path is Riley has to be accurate. He can't turn the football over, which you trust Will Howard more than you do Riley when it comes to turnovers. But then Riley does have to make a couple mistakes. You know, if that happens, he forced some balls tonight. I want to tell you what, like
Howard.
there was 2 or 3 that were those butt clenching moments from the sideline. Like, what the fuck you doing? It didn't work.
The one
like,
over the middle was really fucking insane.
A couple like a deep one on the right side where the corner backed up and could have made a play on it. I think it was Bond almost made a play on it.
Oh, yeah, right through his hands.
There's 3 or 4 where, you know, like, listen, when you're a quarterback and you're feeling it, sometimes things just more times than not, they work out for you. But this Notre Dame defense can make a couple of those plays.
Well, you got to rip it, dude. You got to
I agree. I love it, man.
I know.
I love the mentality. But like Notre Dame has to love that too, because it's kind of like, hey, if there's a way for us to be in this game, we need Will Howard to be a little bit greedy at time, and we have to take advantage of it, hopefully, and get a couple picks.
What are your thoughts on the playoff as a whole after the past 2 nights? As Justin Clayton, awesome, man. You know, This is what we've been wanting to see: the best teams in the country playing in a tournament and having the best emerge. And although I still think the early seeding was obviously wrong,
it's worked.
Ultimately, it filtered to where it needed to.
Yep.
Like we maybe could have gotten a bit better first round matchups for sure, but it would have filtered out in all likelihood very similarly to who's playing right now. Like I still feel like Notre Dame and Ohio State are playing the best football in the country right now. You know, like it doesn't feel like there's a team playing better that is not here. They got unlucky in some sort of way to not be in here.
I agree with that one. I agree with that one. And Texas is one of the best teams in the country. Penn State's had a terrific year. I think maybe if the seeding was different, I don't know if Penn State would have made the semis, but hey, you know what?
Yeah, but I mean, exactly. But who would have? But Notre Dame still, like, these are still the 2 best playing teams.
100%.
Bottom line,
100%. Like the ideal Final Four would have been Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's if I was a Penn State fan, I might push back against that, considering that Oregon just got completely run off the field. But Cowpoke Ranch, $5. The SC myth is exactly that, a myth that was hiding behind the success of Nick Saban. As soon as he left, so did y'all's credibility. I think. I mean, you know, again, we talked about times we're right and wrong on the show last night, but like, I feel a bit validated here because this is what I've been pounding: is that the SEC is not as outlier good as it believes itself to be, and you have clearly lost the bowl season now against the Big Ten. What does this make you finish? 1-4 against the Big Ten?
Not good. Yeah, a lot.
I'm pretty sure it's 1-4.
South Carolina lost. Alabama lost to Michigan. Texas now lost to Ohio State. I mean, those are the 3 big ones.
Tennessee lost to Ohio State. And I think maybe the only win was Mizzou or Iowa.
A&M lost to USC.
A&M lost to USC. 1-4. Is that 1-4, 1-5? It doesn't matter. You get the point. As he got its ass kicked.
Missouri beat Iowa 27-24.
The only thing I disagree with here from Cowpoke is I don't think it's as much as no doubt Nick Saban in Alabama created a lot of the stats that are like, there's been an SEC team in the championship, blah, blah, every year. But the reason why the gap has shrunk is because of the portal in NIL.
Yeah.
It is rebalanced recruiting in a way that was before money was involved for whatever reason, before the ability to just transfer was involved. The South was seeming to win more and more of those battles. And now that talent has diffused throughout the entire country
Yep.
once again. Quinn, $2 Sark wasted a championship defense on Quinn Ewers. But who was better, you know? Like you say wasted on Ewers, like who would you have gotten this year that would have been better?
I mean, was it always on yours? I mean, the
I thought
running
Quinn was
game.
fine tonight. No, that's what I'm saying.
I was
Yeah,
like, the
yeah.
run game was more the issue than Quinn. I mean, their loss
mean,
this year
now-
stemmed from not being able to run the football mostly.
Yes, but to Quentin's point, maybe he wants like the Jaden Daniels or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
why don't I have a quarterback that can? Because that's the thing with Quinn. He's still really, really good, but he's not like in college football. We do see those quarterbacks that are almost like superheroes. That if nothing else is going right, they can dominate and find a way still. And Quinn's not that.
No.
And that's no fault to him. That's not like a big knock on him at all. I'll tell you this. You know what Quinn does have? His balls, his throws. I know, right?
Balls.
I'm not even going there. Not even going there.
Silky.
No, his throws are so silky. You know how people get like ASMR triggers when it's like, or like somebody will do a social media video where they're talking about something random and they just play satisfying videos in the background. I get like ASMR stimulation watching when Quinn hits one of his touch passes, like those wheel routes just dropped in the bucket.
Yep.
I mean, might as well just be gliding on like a cloud to get there. But he can't run.
Can't run. And
you know what sucks? Quinn, at a time when Texas desperately needed it, made some awesome plays. The flip when getting sacked on third down. You got to stop 7 third downs in a row. You somehow managed to have the presence of mind to flip it to blue. You convert. You end up converting 4 first downs, that touchdown drive. Like he made plays.
I know.
But
can't run the football.
Enough. And then down on the 1 yard line. And then the other superstars, Caleb down and Jack Sawyer said, nah, fam. His old roommate. What a Shakespearean twist. What a truly wonderful life is stranger than fiction moment. Jack Sawyer, Quinn Ewers' old roommate at Ohio State. A2, Sawyer A is the one that stabs him in the back and ends the game.
Great game.
First and goal in the 1, and they gave up 7 going the other way. It is insane. It is insane.
All right. Great game. Great playoffs. See you on the Natty. Going to bed.
Wait, hold on. I feel like do we need to do any advertising stuff?
Not tonight.
No? We good? All right, guys. We love you. Hey, guys, please hit the like button. If you enjoy the show, share it with your friends. Please, the algorithmic God. You can just Google Snaps VFB. You can find the podcast, whatever. Congratulations to the Buckeyes. Congratulations to Notre Dame. It's going to be a great national championship. And sorry, Texas.